Oh boy, you know I got a lot to say on this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So excuse me for the lateness of this upload again. A few things happened outside, and let's just say I'm very happy to share one of these big announcements with you guys for the channel. It's awesome. Anyway, before we get into that, let's go ahead and get into the news and why you're here. Let's go ahead and start with the first news topic for you guys for today. The first news topic is obviously the new system update for the PlayStation 5. And I know you guys are wondering, what is this system update for? Well, the system update is pretty much straight to the point. It is basically a stability update that's going to be, you know, ready to go for you guys. And the reason why they're doing this, obviously, is because Friday we got the release of Ratchet & Clank. And you know what's crazy? I don't think we had a software update for the PlayStation 5 when they did Returnal. So I'm guessing they did this in, you know, in preparation for the game so that we can have a smooth launch for the system itself. So there you guys go. Not much else I can really say on the matter there. It is straightforward. Now, let's move on to the next story here. Naughty Dog's looking to actually bring the same type of level, attention to detail, you name it, right? They're trying to bring that next gen feel, that love to obviously factions. They want to really go all out for factions multiplayer. Now, this is a big rumor going around that we're going to get more info of this very, very soon. Obviously, again, factions, I already know it's going to happen in some capacity. I think we all know this, right? It's going to happen sometime. We just don't know when. And this is obviously something that they're keeping close to the chest. And you know, Sony's really been trying to push the whole esports type of thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch, like, just go to Uncharted 4's multiplayer. You have like the little video, like a little commentary of tournament type of thing. Like, Sony's really trying to push into that type of stuff. They bought Evo. They're trying to have, you know, a system in place where you can bet on your favorite teams, your favorite fighters, et cetera, et cetera, right? So they really want to push factions to that next type of, you know, to the next type of tier, which they can definitely do. Factions can definitely be great. Absolutely, when it officially drops. Me personally, you know, I'm at this point with factions where I'll just see it when I see it type of thing. I'm not even trying to get my hopes up super high for this game at all, or for this mode. But I know a lot of people really want more info for factions, so you will be getting that very, very soon. Just keep your eyes open for any more updates, okay? Let's move away from that and let's get into the story that is obviously the main reason I'm excited for this video as well. So, Resistance 4 was actually pitched to Sony, and they actually had this on the back burner for a long time. In fact, it was so pitched for Sony that they actually decided to turn it down because it was too similar to post-apocalyptic type of games. And you guys know Sony was really pushing that type of genre. I mean, they had The Last of Us, right? That became a big deal for them. They had Days Gone, which is another one, which was actually, you know, it had a lasting impact, right? It was a good game, but, you know, obviously reviews were a different story, but it was a good game. So Sony definitely had a lot of games of this type of caliber, right? Post-apocalyptic. They really were pushing this narrative for their games. However, they didn't want to do that for Resistance. They figured Resistance wasn't really needed. Now, let's go back to Jim Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. What did Jim Ryan say, which I've been preaching for a while? Jim Ryan stated that he wanted to bring back new and existing franchises back to the back with the PlayStation 5. And we have seen nothing but hints, nothing but just, you know, screenshots and just reminders from Insomniac Games. And as you guys clearly see with the whole Rift effect with Ratchet & Clank, Insomniac Games is clearly not done here. They have a lot of stuff planned for us down the road, and they are definitely teasing a lot for the future. And Resistance Fallen Man has been the biggest thing that I've basically been talking about here because it just started to come to mind, right? All this stuff started to really make sense, and we're seeing more info for it. And now that we're seeing this, it just adds more context to it, you know what I mean? So I really do see this happening down the road now, especially since they have the original creators of Resistance now a part of Insomniac Games. They're all back with Insomniac. And let me go ahead and play the audio for you guys, man, so you guys can hear the story behind, you know, Resistance Fallen Man. I know a lot of guys were like, oh, there's no way that game was ever happening, or they never were working on it. Guys, they were working on Resistance 4. And you know what's crazy about this? Since they were working on this and they stopped, this definitely sets up the catalyst for them to go ahead and make that game, finish it for the PlayStation 5, but this time push it to new levels. And that would actually make sense why we saw, like the Augur, right? We saw the Bullseye. We saw all these, the Chimera from the past. We saw the Angels, right? We saw all that stuff. It makes sense now that they actually put that type of effort into the actual screenshots and all that stuff, and they were reminding us. I mean, granted, Sunset Overdrive 2, remember how a lot of people didn't think there was much to Sunset Overdrive 2 and they thought I was crazy? Yet here comes Insomniac Games with the official Sunset Overdrive Twitter, which a lot of people thought they were done with. They came back with that, and they're retweeting Sunset Overdrive 2. Obviously, this game is clearly coming back in some capacity, but the question that everybody has is, when? Is it going to happen this year? Are we going to see something for it this year? Is it going to be next year or the year after? And honestly, like I said before, I'm sticking to my guns. This is one of those games that I think they're going to hold close to the chest. They're going to tease us along the way, right? But they're going to show this game when we least expect it. And the reason why I said that when we least expect it is because they have so many projects that they're clearly working on. Spider-Man 2 is a big must for PlayStation, right? That's clearly a game that they want as a priority. So that makes sense that that game is going to be prioritized first. Sunset Overdrive 2 could very well happen before Resistance. You see what I'm saying? And I think what they're really waiting on and they're banking on is for more PlayStation 5s to be sold, and then they're going to drop this as at a major event. And the reason why I say they're going to drop this at a major event and they're waiting for this type of time is because all the big shows now are being opened up, and a lot of us are now being able to, go to these events, experience the shows like we used to, instead of them being in video form, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, little by little, the world's getting back to normal, and it makes sense for us to be able to go through these shows now and experience these games and really get that full next-gen feel, but also that, that old school, just, them old school vibes like E3, et cetera. And that's just my take on it, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest. Obviously, it's going to play the audio at the end of this. But before it plays the audio, I have a massive announcement for you guys for the channel. I want to say thank you guys so much for supporting me along the way and making this a reality. So basically, Jeff Keighley approved the channel. So we're basically now officially a co-streamer for Summer Games Fest. That's right. The channel is now officially co-streaming Summer Games Fest with the approval of Jeff Keighley and everybody there. We got the full details. Shout out to them. I'm so happy. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be fun. I'm waiting for one more bit of news for that, and I'll probably make another announcement if I get approved for a certain other thing. But if not, it's all good. I'm very happy for the opportunity, and this is going to be fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy Summer Games Fest. I'm definitely looking forward to streaming it all with you live on the channel. It's going to be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it. But I want to say I love you guys. Thank you guys again for all the support along the way. Those who still here, I do appreciate you. It's been really a long journey, but it's been awesome. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll definitely talk to you guys later. But until then, see you guys tomorrow for Summer Games Fest. It's going to be live on the channel, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and y'all be blessed. I'm out of here, guys. Deuces.
Years ago that this was going to become a problem for them, the post-apocalyptic thing, because Resistance 4 was pitched to them, and the reason this was pitched to them during the PS3 era, and they declined Resistance 4 because it sounded like The Last of Us, and they didn't want the two games to be overlapping with each other. So Resistance was shut down at that point. So they've been long cognizant of having this collection of post-apocalyptic games. Resistance is a post-apocalyptic game. Killzone is technically a post-apocalyptic game too. So they do have to get away from it. It's just hard. I understand that blood and combat and viscera and all that shit always goes back to these common denominators. But there's got to be a way to break out. And games like The Pathless and others prove that you can have open worlds that are different. And yeah, so like I can tell you guys that with that great certainty. Resistance 4 was a game that was pitched at one time, and it was declined primarily because it was similar to The Last of Us, at least thematically. And you can see that.
That's so ironic, just because Days Gone is like way more similar I would think, than a hypothetical Resistance 4.
Right, and that is interesting, but think about the time in which this happened. Resistance 3 came out in 2011, so this pitch is happening around the time that Bend is moving off of Uncharted, and they might have gone back at that point, because remember, this is now the time when like The Walking Dead's at its biggest, the Walking Dead games are coming out, all that, and they might be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe we do need a zombie game, and that seems to, you can kind of connect those tendrils as well. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. We're not going to hear about it for a long time, so gird your loins, boys and girls.